Ladies and gentlemen, just hours away from talking about the sacking of Jim Boylen, there is still so much more that we can talk about here. There's a lot to discuss in terms of who our next head coach is going to be. Now, I never thought I would ever have to make this video in this year at least, but it is happening, guys. It's happening. The news just keeps on getting better and better when it comes to Jim Boylen. Now we have to look for another head coach. So this is going to be probably one of many, but definitely one to discuss about who I think the next head coach of the Chicago Bulls will be. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Chicago Bulls video about the next head coach. Who will the next head coach be of the Chicago Bulls? Now, this is going to be more about who I want to be the next head coach and not exactly who it is going to be, because there are many candidates for this head coaching position. There truly is, and there are some that really stand out, and I'm only going to talk about those ones in the meantime. All those candidates that are probably still in the bubble might not be recognized in this video, and also there might be some assistant head coaches like the Philadelphia one I'm not going to mention as well until we really know more about it. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. We are just 6 subscribers away at this time of recording from getting to the goal of 100 subscribers, the main milestone, the big milestone, the first one that I'll probably achieve. I'm very thankful for you guys. The last two videos really about Jim Boylen did tremendously well. Some for the wrong reasons, some for the right reasons, but we're going to get into this one as well. The head coach of the Chicago Bulls. Now, what we want, it depends on what we want, right? What we want out of a head coach of the Chicago Bulls. So we've had a lot of things throughout our previous head coaching acquisitions. Obviously, you had Tom Thibodeau, a defensive-minded head coach that put all of his best players out from start to finish, no matter what the score, no matter what the outcome, the best players played. You also had Fred Hoiberg, a coach that was more based on offense than defense, was really poor on defense, got the best out of the players offensively, but we could not win any games due to defense. That was Fred Hoiberg. Jim Boylen, which all around was not a great coach. He had the mentality to go and win games. He had the mentality to go and try things, but it never worked out, and he is the last of those head coaches that have failed as a Chicago Bulls head coach. Tom Thibodeau didn't fail, but Fred Hoiberg and Jim Boylen did. So now we need to look at something different. We need to look at something very unique. We have some very special talent in this team. Zach LaVine could potentially be the best scorer on the team. Maybe he's not going to be the absolute superstar that we all want him to be, but maybe he can be. And he could definitely be a leading scorer on a team that can go and get a championship. I 100% believe that. Larry Markkinen, a player that has regressed over the coming year. We all believe that he could get back to where he should be. Hopefully he can even progress into his career. With all these moves changing, that surely makes him a happier player, a happier Larry Markkinen, a more confident Larry Markkinen, a better Larry Markkinen. It's as simple as that. Sorry for rambling about that, but pretty much that's exactly what I expect with the coming head coach, to make sure Larry Markkinen especially gets the absolute best out of his career as a Chicago Bull. You still have Wendell Carter on the team, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent, gives you nearly a double-double every night. If he just can stay healthy, he is a player that could definitely bring the Bulls victories. Kobe White, the player that started on the bench majority of the season, coming in for a start in the month of February and March, was good. Or in January, but it was January and early February, and then the whole lockdown thing happened. But you know what I mean. So pretty much that is going to be the core of this team. Of course, we have other players we can think about as well. We still have Otto Porter. We still have Thaddeus Young, Denzel Valentine. We have Chris Dunn as well. We do have a very young core. We have a very young upcoming team that has the potential to be anything that they want to be. We have one of the best young cores in the league. We do, but we need to bring this young core to the present day, this future till now. Let's make the future now. That's what I want to see, and we we need a head coach that will have that same mentality, that doesn't care about the age of these guys, but wants to see them progress and wants to see this team progress. We need a type of coach that will have leadership traits, because our team is so young. We need a leader. Our head coach needs to be our leader. We need someone that brings the right mentality towards this team, a coach that can actually make this team gel together. This team has been fragmented. I know it's majority been players versus coach, but some of the players within the team are fragmented. Not all of them have their minds set on the Chicago Bulls. Some players have their minds set elsewhere, but just have not gotten their move yet. We need, from start to finish, a coach that will bring all of our team together and gel. Just like this. I keep doing this, but this is what it means. To gel, to be coexistent. Now, one coach that really stands out when you talk about them, when talking about this, is Kenny Atkinson. This head coach was former head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, and he was absolutely sensational. Their team was not the greatest by any stretch of the means, that Brooklyn Nets team, but somehow they still managed to make the A. Somehow they still managed to gel together. Somehow they still managed to have a team chemistry that was second to none in majority of the teams that were in that position. They had great chemistry together. Yes, the Brooklyn Nets are probably going to go on to better things despite having fired Kenny Atkinson, despite having a better team now. They're probably going to be better, of course, but that team chemistry, that cohesiveness, that willingness to sacrifice for each other is something that we need in this Bulls team. We need to be able to sacrifice for each other. We need to be able to fight for each other. And sometimes, of course, we're a fighting team. I will never question that we are not a fighting team, but we are a team that sometimes lacks the willingness to compete for each other. I can 100% say that. That's what I think. I want that type of relationship. I think King of the Fourth Quarter may have said this as well. I'm pretty sure he said Kenny Atkinson as well. Now, this is not the only head coach that the Chicago Bulls should be looking at. You also have the Jazz head coach. Obviously, they have better players, but despite that, they've been doing extremely well for a few years now, and he has brought this team from mediocre, even with Gordon Hayward on the team, a young and upcoming Gordon Hayward that could have been a star. And they went to really good things without him as well. They've done very, very well in terms of their entire team, the Utah Jazz. He is definitely someone that we could be looking at. My favorite, and I still, there's obviously more. I'll keep saying there is more. Obviously, we have Adrien Griffin as well, the Raptors assistant head coach. Look, for me, the Bulls won't go near him. Again, I don't want to bring up all the accusations until I know something, but obviously there's been a very, very poor domestic violence accusations towards him, which he's denying, and for that reason alone, I just don't see the Bulls ever going to target someone that has that sort of accusation towards them at this current time. If this happened maybe a year before or even a year after, we could have potentially gotten him, but I just don't see it. I think this is the wrong timing, wrong place. But he could definitely be something that we could be looking for. Obviously, the Raptors is, again, it's similar to the Nets, man. The Raptors, they're not the greatest team, but they really, really excel above expectations. And as much as the head coach is the reason for that, you have to give credit to the assistant head coach as well. They have a winning mentality there, and that's something that they can bring to us. Obviously, my favorite is still Mark Jackson, former Golden State Warriors head coach. Brought him to the playoffs for the first time, and they did extremely well. Young upcoming team was the Golden State Warriors, and Mark Jackson played an extremely vital part from where they were to where they are now. Even though he doesn't get enough credit, because Steve Kerr took the reins and brought them way beyond what they were. But you need to give credit to the coach before that, the one that developed them, the one that made that young core what it was. That team that Mark Jackson acquired, that team that Mark Jackson had, that Steve Kerr took over from, was his team. It was Steph, it was Clay, it was Harrison Barnes, David Lee, Andrew Bogut. That was the team that Mark Jackson had. And he brought them, he developed them, he rose to the occasion and made these players much better than what they probably would have been without him. And that is all you can ask for from a head coach. That is something that we would probably need. We need someone that can make these players better than what they are. And in my opinion, he is a perfect candidate for that. Now, Am I going to be upset if we don't get him? It depends on who we get, to be honest. I truly don't know. There is no way that the Bulls are going to make a decision right now. I could be wrong. I've been wrong about Jim Boylen. I'll be wrong. I could be wrong here. Maybe there's a new head coach within the coming hours. I don't know. But in my opinion, it all depends on who we get. The Chicago Bulls are a great young core. We need that core to develop from just being young and up and coming to the present. And I think all of the coaches that we have been linked to so far can do that for us. We want a winning mentality in Chicago. We brought in a tourist who is a winning, winning type of person. Like you saw what he did with the Nuggets. He's the main reason for the Nuggets being what they are. The drafting, the acquisitions, the trades. All of that came from him. Eversley, Philadelphia 76ers general manager. A lot of people actually weren't really rating him at the time, but he's shown that he's a winning mentality. And not only that, he's shown that he has great communication between players and coaches and managers. He has great communications. He can make sure players are going to be happy with what they're doing and making sure that players are satisfied at Chicago and want to stay here at Chicago. Maybe bring some people into Chicago. In the end, that is perfect. That's exactly someone that we need. And the last piece of the puzzle is the head coach. The coach that can make these players truly great. Make these players exactly what they're destined to be. As I said before, man, we still have a lot to talk about with the Chicago Bulls. The draft is coming up soon. The head coach can make that player a superstar. Whoever we draft, we have a very decent chance of getting from the 7th to the 4th pick. First, look, that's a long shot. The Pelicans did it, so anybody can, but that's our guess at the moment. We have a chance to make a great player out of this next draft pick. If we keep our core as well, we're only going to get better. We just need to make sure that this head coach right here, the one that we pick, the one that Artorias is going to take the time and effort, and we're going to trust his pick because we've seen what he can do. We can see the magic that he does from a team like Denver, who is not a good market team, but somehow they're contenders at the moment. That's what we have under our belt at the moment, and we can definitely strive to make sure that we could be one of those teams in the East. Now, as I said before, it takes patience. It definitely takes patience, but there's no reason why we can't do it. Anyway, my head coach that I want is Mark Jackson. I think Kenny Atkinson is a perfect head coach for us as well. Definitely something to look at. But those are the main two that I would say the Chicago Bulls should be looking at. There are, of course, going to be more. I would love to know what you guys think. The Chicago Bulls, in the last few days, the fans have experienced tremendous happiness with the firing of Jim Boylen. But now, as fans and as players, as a franchise, we must look beyond Jim Boylen and look into the future of the Chicago Bulls. And this pick right here, the head coach, will change everything for us. I truly believe that. We need a decent head coach. We need an experienced head coach. We need a head coach that's a leader. We need a head coach that are willing to make sure our players develop as a team and not as individuals. As a team, we need to win more games. As a team, we need to try and make progress, make the playoffs, make a decent account of ourselves next season. Only a Taurus, in my opinion, can be that person that can make a decision so big for us. This shapes our franchise, and I hope and I can't wait to see where the Bulls go with this. I encourage everyone to trust who they pick. If you don't like the pick, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least give it time to see if it works out. We've given time to Fred Hoiberg. We've given time to Jim Boylen. We've given time to these head coaches that have not worked out. So if anything, the least we could do is give time to the next one coming in, treat them respectfully, welcome them into the Chicago Bulls family, and let's see if they'll give everything to us. Let's see if we get rewarded for our effort, man. As Chicago Bulls fans, we've given a lot of effort towards the changing of this club. As much as we could say the owners did it and it was a necessary change, we've been fighting for this for so long. We've been fighting for decisions to be made for the success of the Chicago Bulls for so very long. We've been waiting for this. We've been dying for this. We've been screaming for this. I don't live in Chicago, but there have been billboards up in Chicago about this. In the end, we've been fighting for this for so long. All around the world, Chicago Bulls fans have been fighting for the changes that we're finally getting. And now, let's hope those changes will end up being the reason why we will be great once again. Hopefully. Only time's going to tell. Be patient, guys. We can get there. we can get there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Those are the head coaches that I think we should get. Mark Jackson, Kenny Atkinson. Let me know what you guys think. There's obviously going to be a decent shout for NBA head coaches. I'd love to know what you guys think. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.